Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I went to the library today. My kids have already started back at school, and one of my kids is taking a class where I have to drive her and then hang around for like an hour and a half to bring her back home because it's not near my house. And there's a library near where her class is. So I decided to go over there today and spend my time. I was trying to think ahead for September. There's a lot of readathons, well, 2 that I might try to do. I'm still contemplating if I'm going to have the ability to do them. But if I can, I thought I would try to pick up some books that might work for these readathons. And also, I just saw a few things that just caught my eye that are a little bit different, so they came home with me. Let's just go ahead and get into what I picked up. This first one that I saw as soon as I walked in, it's called The Merry Spinster, Tales of Everyday Horror by Mallory Ortberg. I've never heard of her before, but this is short stories. And from what I can understand, these are retellings of stories with a horror twist to them. This cover really caught my eye, and the word horror in it. And so yeah, I went ahead and picked it up. Have no idea if it's any good. Never heard of it before. But I've got it, and it's written by a woman, and the Ladies of Horror Fiction is having a readathon. And so this might fit in somewhere into that readathon. This next one is not horror. Not even close. This is historical fiction, and it's a romance. I have really been craving something like this for a while. I do own a book of his, which is a horror ghost story kind of thing, and it's this, The Night Strangers. Haven't read it yet, so I don't know if it's any good. But this one sounded pretty good. It's about the daughter of Prussian aristocrats falling in love with a Scottish prisoner after World War II, and they have to try to keep it hidden. Yeah, I haven't read a World War II story in a really long time, or a good romance. Oh, and I think I forgot to say the name. This is actually called Skeletons at the Feast. This next one is called The Humans by Matt Haig. This one is about an alien who comes to Earth and is pretty much disgusted by humans. He thinks we're gross by the foods we eat and the way we act and our attitude towards things. And then he becomes friends with a human and starts to live as a human, and his perceptions start to change. So yeah, this has aliens in it, and it sounded pretty unique and different. And also this might be able to fit into the Monster-a-thon, which is the other readathon I'm contemplating jumping in on because this has aliens. And if I do the Monster-a-thon, I want to be in the conspiracies group. And that group, you have to read a book that has an alien, I think. Can't remember the details. If I make a video about it, the details will be in there. This next one is by the same author. It's called The Radleys, and this is about vampires who are trying to live a normal life. It's like a mom, a dad, and a son and daughter, I think. And the mom and dad have given up sucking blood, and they're just trying to live like regular people. And then I think one of their kids develops vampirism and maybe attacks somebody. I read this at the library, now I can't remember. And then like the grandpa comes in to try to help the kids understand that they're vampires. Something like that. It's like a family drama, but vampires. And I love vampires, and I like this cover a lot. Looks really cool. This one I think was pretty popular a little while back. I have seen it going around. So if you've read that or any of these, let me know. This one is one I've been wanting to read for probably a year. I saw this at Barnes & Noble a long time ago, but it's called The Hike by Drew McGarry. This is supposed to be a crazy book with lots of weird shit in it, but it's about a guy who, I think he's on a business trip somewhere in Pennsylvania, and he decides to take a hike one evening, and he thinks it's going to be a short hike. He has to be back in time for dinner or something, but he gets lost in the woods, and he comes across all kinds of crazy ass creatures, like a gigantic talking crab, This book is supposed to be really funny and really entertaining. I love going on hikes. I'm a big hiker, well, at least I used to be. I don't hike as much as I used to, but I love being outdoors in the woods. And so yeah, I am super excited to get to this one. I also have this book saved in my Scribd app, so if I don't get to physically read the book, I'm hoping I'll at least be able to listen to it soon. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to it. Okay, this one I was way excited to find. It's called the Sawbones Book, The Horrifying, Hilarious Road to Modern Medicine by Justin McElroy and Dr. Sydney McElroy, a husband and wife team wrote this. It talks about different people throughout history who had crazy medical, whoa, what did I just see? Just flipping through this book. I don't know if I can show this on YouTube, but there is a painting. It looks like a Roman painting with a guy's heart that's like as big as he is. I'll leave it at that, but yeah, that kind of caught me off guard as I was flipping through. So yeah, it talks about spontaneous human combustion, just like weird medical stuff, and I love this kind of thing. I just find this kind of stuff so fascinating. Ties in with my love of history. I love all stuff like this. So yeah, very happy that I came across that book. So I picked up a few graphic novels because again, I feel like these could work for readathons. Although typically I have a really hard time reading graphic novels. Just something with my ADHD, or maybe it's some kind of reading problem I have, but I find reading with a lot of pictures and illustrations on the page, it just makes it very distracting for me, and I have a hard time focusing on the words. So it's just not easy for me to do. But I did pick up two that I'm interested in the story in, so we will see how this goes. But this first one is called Cemetery Girl. It's book one of the Pretenders. It's by Charlaine Harris, who writes the Sookie Stackhouse books, which I absolutely adore, and Christopher Golden. The synopsis of this one reminds me of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, one of my all-time favorite books ever. So it's something like a girl wakes up in a cemetery and can't remember anything, doesn't know how she got there. She takes on the names and identity of like from the tombstones around her and decides to just stay in the cemetery and not leave. And then she sees a girl get murdered and she's able to see the girl's ghost. So the girl's ghost comes up and then can interact. And so this girl then has to decide if she's going to risk leaving the cemetery to help the murdered girl. I liked the illustrations on the inside. It looks like that. So hopefully I'm able to read this without too many issues. The next one I picked up is actually for my son, but I guess I'll show it because it's pretty adult, I think. And that is V for Vendetta by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. He just read the Watchmen graphic novel this month and absolutely lost his shit over it. He thought it was the best thing he's ever read, and so he was really wanting to read this one as well. I think this is a really different story from the Watchmen though. I'm pretty sure this is about an anarchist, something to do with anarchy. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes, but yeah, I picked this up for him. And the last book or graphic novel I picked up because again, I'm hoping this will work for the Monsterathon, and that is the X-Files Classics Volume 2. I really liked how this one looked. I think there's like 4 different stories in here. So yeah, it kind of looks like that, if you can tell how that looks. But yeah, you guys know by now I absolutely am a nutcase for X-Files, and so even though this is a graphic novel, hopefully I will be able to actually read the dang thing and enjoy it, and this would work for the alien part of Monsterathon. And that is it. That is all I picked up at the library today. Wish me luck that I can get through at least a few of these books, because I always feel guilty when I go to the library and get a bunch of stuff and then don't read it. So hopefully I can fit a few of these in somewhere. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see y'all later. Bye.